Hi, and welcome to Mrs. Mummypenny Talks. And it is Tuesday, the 3rd of December. December's here. I have a Christmas tree on my head. I thought I would do a little bit of a festive look to the podcast today. So let me just explain as I start this podcast. So I record it in all different ways, so you can choose how you watch or listen to it. So you might choose to listen to it as a podcast, so it goes across all the podcast things like Spotify. Okay, cool. So yes, I record it on Facebook Live, so you get to see a live version, watch all the boo-boos and mistakes I make. Not many, I've been doing it for too long now. And then I put this video onto YouTube as well. So it's on multiple platforms, plus I share it across all my social media as well. So you choose how you watch it. So yes, it is episode 12 of this series of the podcast. I'm pretty impressed that I've got up to episode 12 all on my own. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is some of the exciting media stuff I've done over the past week, because there's been loads and it seems to be carrying on as well, which is good. And one of the interviews I did yesterday is something I'm going to talk a bit more about on here, which is savings ideas for Christmas. And we talked about a few things to think about for Christmas. And I'm also going to talk to you about top cashback and how I triple stacked discounts with top cashback at the end to get me some extra savings. It's I just want to explain the concept and what it actually means and how it can make you a lot of money, because I wrote about it last week, how I've had £3,000 worth of cash back now out of them. So yeah, very good. And then what else did I want to touch on? Oh, I've got a competition. So yeah, 4 things to talk through. So let's start with some of the media stuff I did last week. So it all just comes at once. It was crazy, and it was all on sort of different subject areas. So I did an interview with BBC Berkshire. Yeah, BBC Berkshire. I do quite a lot of sort of 5-minute, 10-minute sessions with BBC radio stations. I'm on their database as one of their personal finance experts. So they often call me up and ask me to talk. So I was talking about yellow sticker food purchases with them. Best time to get them in the shops. Are they actually worth it? What's the best bargains I've ever found? I first place I check when I go into the co-op is the yellow sticker fridge, yellow sticker bay, to see what's in there. Because there's often some great stuff you can chuck in the freezer. Most things you can freeze. Milk, cheese, vegetables. You can freeze all of these things. Chopped up vegetables, you can freeze them. I had a bit of a chat about that. I did my regular BBC Kent hour-long show. So I do that sort of every 4 weeks on a Tuesday night with David Braithwaite, and we talked a lot about Christmas, and a lot about Black Friday as well. And then I did the Sun Savers show. So this is a new. I have seen this channel, but there's a special video channel on Facebook, and they're really like promoting it up the sort of algorithms. So yeah, the Sun do this this properly sort of broadcast show that goes out on their Facebook, so in their Facebook group and on their Facebook page. There's hundreds of thousands of people who are members of that, and that was talking about Black Friday, what was on my list, how I was going to save some money, and just sort of tips for people to stuff I've said on here many a time before. Stick to a list. Don't get tempted by all these offers, because they might not be as good as they seem. And then I went on to TV. This was very exciting. I went on to a TV channel, a new TV channel, CGTN, which is actually Chinese Global Television Network. Yeah. They produce a show called The Agenda, which goes on Sky and some Freeview channels. And they wanted me to come into their studio to talk about debt. And it was the whole show was a concept of sort of micro sort of personal debt. So I was there sort of talking about my experience of being in debt and how it felt and how I got out of it. But then they're also talking about sort of macro, bigger debt, so debt of countries, but also really interesting concept that so at the moment, the UK economy, so retail shops are struggling at the moment, and they are almost relying on us, the consumers, to spend and to get into debt to fund them. So we're in this really weird situation in the UK at the moment that sort of consumer debt is sort of helping the companies to survive for longer. So if we all decided to not go out and spend any money this Christmas, if we all cut back hugely, it would have a really big impact on the retail environment of the UK. So it's an interesting balance between the two of them. So yeah, I was on that TV channel having a chat about that, and it was really well produced. The team was lovely, and they did my hair and makeup, which is always really nice because you don't actually get that all the time on TV. You often are told to sort of come fully made up, and they'll maybe put a bit of powder on your face, but then they did my makeup properly, so that was good. I think it was aired over the weekend. So yes, TV is always fun. What else did I do? Oh, so I went on to back onto BBC Kent yesterday on their drive time show to talk about sort of Christmas and just some things to think about. So I thought I'd go through some of them now. So, right, firstly, Christmas cards. Now, those who know me, I haven't actually sent a Christmas card for, I'm going to say like 7 or 8 years. Now, it means that we get hardly any Christmas cards sent to us, but yay for several reasons. So, think of the cost of sending Christmas cards. Christmas cards sent by post to people. Let's say you send 30 cards, 30 lots of cards, stamps, 61p for second class stamps. And so that in itself, let's work that out. That's about £18 for the postage. 60 times 30. Yeah, £18 for the postage, plus the cost of the cards, plus the time it takes to write them. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. Never mind the impact, the eco impact of the trees to make the cards and the envelopes. So yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of don't send cards. Sorry, everybody who loves cards, but I'm just not there. So I'd be interested to see what you think. But then we also talked about the sort of endless list of gifts, and just to sort of have a rational look at that list and think that maybe is this year the year to have a conversation with people about, is there really a necessity to exchange gifts? Christmas should not all be about giving gifts and spending money. Christmas should actually be about spending time together. I know I had a conversation with so I've got a sister and a niece and a nephew, and we had the conversation a few years ago where we were ending up just giving each other vouchers. It was a pointless exchange of vouchers, so I just said, look, we haven't got endless pots of money, so let's just say to not give gifts. So we just stopped, and it has no impact on spending time with each other. We just don't have all those gifts piled up under the tree and the extravagance there. So yeah, just have a sort of rational look at your list, and are there some people, like, are you giving gifts to friends just because you've been doing it for the last 10-20 years? I don't know, I just feel it's not really necessary. And then the other thing was gifts for the children. So I've been quite sort of explicit with the children about they're not going to get hundreds and hundreds of pounds spent on them. They're just not. We just can't afford it. So they know that they can choose things up to the value of a certain amount of money. For my kids, I have said they can choose things up to a certain amount of money. So for my kids, they know that they can have presents up to £100. And they're actually helping with this. They're finding the best place on the internet to buy some of the things they want, so they can sort of maximise what they get within that budget. Does it take the magic out of Christmas? Well, my kids are older now, and they don't necessarily, they're not all wrapped up in the magic of Christmas. But I just don't think it should be about spending thousands and thousands of pounds. I don't. I've heard some people talk on social media and stuff that they're spending a lot of money, and when you see those pictures of 50 gifts under the tree, it's just I just don't like it. So yeah, think about that as well. So yeah, some just be mindful and thoughtful about Christmas, that you don't necessarily have to spend the earth. So yeah, so lots of great discussions on the media this week. It's interesting doing all these media stuff, because so the BBC are always really great at promoting my blog, and they always talk about introduce me as a personal finance expert. So it's great publicity. Doesn't pay. So if you are wondering, the only time you do get paid is when you have to go to TV studios or whatever. So I did get paid for the TV work, although it's not very much. So yeah, it's interesting, the media world. You almost just do it for the profile, and get your name mentioned by all these brands. So yeah, so it was Black Friday last week, and my rules were strict. Write a list, stick to that list, and don't meander off that list. So I think I did very well. But I want to talk about one of the bargains I got, because it demonstrates the beauty of how cashback works as well. So Jack, it was actually Jack's birthday 2 weeks ago, and he wanted some trainers, some Nike Air Max trainers. He's very specific, 7-year-old, and he's very specific about the brand of trainers he wants. And so we found some trainers that were original price of £50. So they were in the sale on the Nike website down to £35. Black Friday offer gave us 30% off sale price. So that took them down to £35. That took them down to about £25. And then I stacked a cashback deal on top of that as well. So what I did was I went to Top Cashback, I searched for Nike, they're one of their retailers. I then clicked through, so I've got an account set up with Top Cashback. I clicked through to Nike from Top Cashback, and that logged an extra 9% discount on top. So I then got 9% off the £25 as well. So that's about another £2.50 or so. So yeah, the trainers ended up down to £22 from the original price of £50. So the great thing about cashback discounts is that you can add it on top of the sort of offers already there on the internet. So go have a look at the website and go and see the retailers in there. There's so many retailers in there that you'd be buying from anyway. Debenhams, Next, Marks and Spencers, they're all in there. So that's for your regular shopping. But so I mentioned I've made £3,000 cashback from Top Cashback. So that's since I opened up my account, which is basically the same age as Jack. So it's 7 years old. So £3,000 in 7 years. You're not gonna want that money, are you? An extra £3,000 in 7 years. Now, I wrote a post last week about where sort of the biggest chunks of the money have come from. So I use it for any sort of big, not just online purchases, I mean switching of things. I always push it through Top Cashback. So whenever I change my car insurance, home insurance, I push it through cashback and sign up there. That makes me about £150 a year. Whenever I switch broadband, that's another great one to put through there. And the cashback amounts are really quite big, often £100 plus that you get in cashback. And you're signing up to exactly the same product that you would, say, on the Virgin or the BT website, but it's just you get that extra chunk of free money, cashback, by starting with the cashback website and going through to Virgin or BT via them. it's sorry, my computer keeps switching off. That's okay. So holidays, another great way. I've had big chunks of cash back there. Booking holidays with Expedia, you can get like 4 or 5% cash back. What did I booked when I went to Las Vegas earlier this year with my friend Neil. We booked it with Expedia, which is a great price for a holiday. It was the best price I could find for the holiday anyway. And got about £140 cash back on top of that as well. Holiday parking, holiday insurance, all of that can flow through. If you're taking out, when I took out my American Express credit card, which I know I've talked about before, which I put all my regular spending through my American Express card, credit card, because I get cash back. I actually took it out via Top Cashback to get a cashback bonus for setting it up. Just basically every sort of online type transaction you can think of, you can push it through there and make all this money. And the other thing which I do get chunks of money for as well is refer a friend money. So if you set up an account and you tell your friends about how much money you've made and then get them to set it up using your refer a friend link, you will then benefit from, it varies how much you get. Sometimes it's like £5, sometimes it's £10. At the moment, because it's Black Friday, it's like £25. So yeah, it all just adds up to your total. And you can either transfer it into cash, which goes back into your back transfer into your bank account, or you can turn it into gift vouchers, which mean you get an extra little bonus. I turned some of my cashback amounts into Halfords vouchers back in October, because I was buying birthday presents for the boys from Halfords, so that got me an extra 5% on top. So yeah, cashback is great. It is it's probably the first thing I discovered as a great money saving hack, and yeah, I use it all the time. So I highly recommend it. Top Cashback are the one I use, but there are other companies, and if you go to my website, do a search for cashback, and there'll be well, you can find the post I wrote about £3,000 worth of cashback, and there's some links in there. If you could follow those links and use my refer a friend link, that would be amazing. Thank you. What else have I got to talk about? I've been talking for 17 minutes. That's pretty good going. Right, the competition. I'll end with the competition. There's a really big competition on my website at the moment, and on lots of other UK money blogger websites. We are giving away 8 M&S hampers worth £50 each. It closes on the 14th of December, so we want to draw it in time for Christmas. So yeah, go over to my website, and it's one of my recent posts. I shared it on Sunday. Loads of ways to enter. All you have to do is like follow people on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and you'll get lots and lots of entries. So yeah, go and enter that competition so you can want one of my readers to win a hamper. Yeah. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching my first Christmassy edition of Mrs. Mummypenny Talks. And I shall be back again next week. See you later. Bye bye.